Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video, and this is just such an amazing run to me. I'm so glad that it finally happened. Yeah, so while with the other classes I was like going for the sub 32s and sub 31s, I decided to go all in on warrior because one, it's like the fastest class, and two, because it's like I'm only missing warrior and merc and monk, right? So I wanted warrior to be the one that gets the sub 30. So yeah, I've gotten really unlucky in this grind. I had like a 30 minutes 10-second run, a 30 minutes 14-second run, many runs like that, and I just got rolled by RNG at the end. So yeah, let's start talking about this run. So first of all, I got my shield and I instantly took it off because shields have a minus 3% movement speed penalty, the armor shields at least. And yeah, now this is like one of the worst riverbank layouts, and at one point I was so desperate that I was actually like resetting if I noticed that a layout in the riverbank was one of the bad ones. But I just couldn't bother anymore. This was a really boring grind where a lot of the runs you do just fail 2 minutes in because you just get unlucky. So I just wanted to get it over with, right? Yeah, so here against Miller there's a really cool spot that I'm standing in right now that basically makes it so that when zombies come at you, you can like hit them while you hit the Miller, like I'm doing right now, which makes it so you don't have to worry about his zombies at all, and you can just sit there and smash him in the face with your stick. Yeah, and also you want to do the rolling slam once he's stunned, because apparently it does more damage. Now here I'm taking everything off because I'm gonna sell it, and I'm really hoping that Miller drops me like a crossbow or something with a lot of damage. So this is like perfect. I get both my spear and my crossbow. If I don't, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to buy a spear for 33 gold and like a crossbow or a two-hander. If I don't get both of those, then I just reset. Now that's some really cool menuing that I did, and yeah, here we are in Clearfell. I'm trying to do as many actions as possible in the middle of my disengage, so I'm like multitasking. So right now you're gonna see I'm like putting my gem, disengaging, then putting my gem in the hotbar, then disengaging, and doing this kind of like, I don't know, menuing so that I save as much time as possible. Now for this fight we really want the ice bomb from the sorceress tree because of the ads. They are so annoying, and unless you have like a 200 you can't really deal with them anyway, right? So yeah, I almost died there. Yeah, this boss is really easy, and if you try to like force runs, what you could do is like go here with a dogshit weapon and hope that she drops like a good 200 or a crossbow or something. Sometimes she actually does drop like an amazing weapon, right? But I don't know, I feel like resetting at Renly is just more efficient. Now here we enter Grelwood at pretty standard pace, like 330 is usually what I go for, like what I aim for on all classes. And I have gotten some really wonky Grelwood with warrior for some reason. I just kept getting some super weird layout where like the tree was so far up and then the Grim Tangle was in the opposite direction, and it was like so much like horrible to route, right? Now this witch is extremely dangerous. This is probably like the hardest boss of the run by far. You wanna put the ice bomb and you wanna try to stay at melee range in order that she doesn't like instantly teleports out of the bomb range. And your goal is to basically freeze her so that you can get a lot of hits while she's frozen, right? If you roll some crazy like stupid mods with I don't know, then you can just reset a checkpoint. Now here I identify that shield and I see that it has 5 to dexterity. And that's amazing because it means that when I'm putting points in the passive tree, I can put one more point into strength instead of having 2 dexterity points, which basically makes my Rust King fight way faster, and also the Asenia and Draven ones. Now here we're getting the Grim Tangle, and we're gonna TP back so we can get the Hooded 1-3. And then, I mean, yeah, this is pretty standard routing. This is like the average Grelwood layout that you would expect to get. So my goal for like pacing wise was entering the Red Vale at 5:30. That's basically what I was consistently getting on my mercenary, which is like the most consistent class for this. And I actually, yeah, I entered a little bit faster, which is nice, I mean, of course. So here we get to Red Vale, and I know that this is a special layout because it's facing southwest, if I don't get like my coordinates wrong, but it's facing southwest, which there are only 2 different Red Vale layouts that do, so if I can tell which one it is from the 2, then I can route this perfectly. Now I actually don't remember how smooth this Red Vale read was at all. I just know it was kind of good. It actually takes me like 40 years to clear this obelisk because all of the monsters are like spaced together for some reason, like really spaced far apart, right? So yeah, here I see the bridge, and from here I already know which layout it is, but I don't really remember where the obelisks are, so I kind of make a mistake along the way here, you're gonna see in a bit. And yeah, I'm taking my time to kill magic monsters if I see them, like, because I really want to get to level 6 really fast. The faster I'm level 6, the faster I can start using Rake, and which means the faster my movement will be. I mean, that's just common sense at this point, right? Yeah, no, this was the obelisk that took me 40 years to clear. I forgot. So yeah, here I remember that there was supposed to be like an obelisk here, and I just go back for it. Pretty clean read. Like I'm clicking the third obelisk at 7 minutes, and here you can see that I put the 5-pointer in strength. If I didn't have that shield, and here I am checking that I didn't just completely fuck it up, if I didn't have that shield, that point would have to go in dexterity, which means I'd have less damage against Trasking. So yeah, I identified that chestplate because just in case it has strength on it. And yeah, this is like a pretty decent run. I've gotten really faster, like I've gotten Rusty King kills at like 7:30, but those kind of runs are really rare, and you just have to like get lucky for that, right? So here I kill him, and I portal, and what I do when I portal is I spam my left click so I can instantly enter it. However, I have parry on left click, which makes me do that fucking jittery motion with my character, and I just waste a couple seconds for that. Now here I'm swapping my flasks, and I'm like checking which items I have in my inventory have like a strength base, because those kind of items can roll strength on them. So the ones that don't have strength I can just sell, and that's like how I get my gold early on. And I already had my shield, I think, so I didn't even have to shop for one. Now this is a pretty decent pace. I'm like 20 seconds ahead of what my goal is for this. And yeah, here you talk to Una, you just must buy all of your scrolls of wisdom. Also, sorry if you can see my mouse cursor during these runs. I cannot record OBS properly, so because I'm on Mac. So sorry for that. Now this is a sub 9 minute Grim Tangle enter, which is great. Now before I even entered Red Vale, when I grabbed the Grim Tangle waypoint, I took mental note that it was the layout where it's facing to the left and the waypoint is up. And I believe that there are 2 possible Grim Tangle layouts that have that, maybe 1 and I'm just bad, but yeah, it's a pretty easy layout. You just go to the left and then down and you get to the ending. pretty clean read actually, if I didn't fuck it up at the beginning, but that's like 10 seconds of time save. Yeah, so this is like a sub 10 minutes cemetery enter. This is amazing. Like if I got an amazing cemetery, I would be entering Asinia's tomb at 10:15 or something stupid like that. But you know me, every time there's any kind of RNG involved, I just have to get completely like fucked by it. So yeah, this is gonna be a full clear, pretty much. There's nothing I can do about it. Damn, like I wish there was somehow some way to read this layout. Like even if there was a PDF with 50 different cemetery layouts, I am pretty sure that I would just learn it, just for the sake of not being frustrated when I get dogshit cemeteries. And there was this run where I had an amazing start and also a like perfect cemetery, and I got completely destroyed by freight run. Like it was a 5-minute freight run. It was like a full clear. It took me so long to find all of the rituals. It was terrible. So that's how I got the 30-minute 10-second run that I didn't want to upload. The thing is, yeah, here I found Asinia, and I'm looking for a Draven now, which, yeah, I'm like, maybe it's like at the side, but of course not. It's just gonna be in the middle. Yeah, this is pretty much as bad as it gets. Like, I don't know, 80% of the cemeteries are better than this, at least 80%. But the pace was so insane that I just decided to go with it. And the thing is, the pace is not even insane anymore, right? Because I just wasted a full minute, like more than a minute, just walking around the cemetery. And that's actually crazy because to think about, because if I didn't get so unlucky here and I got like a perfect cemetery, this run would have been sub 27, I think, or like sub 28 at the very least. Yeah, sub 28, sorry. Yeah, so it happens. I don't think I'm gonna keep running this category unless like it gets broken, like this record gets beaten by like 3 people or something, but I don't think it will. It's such a painstaking record to get. Really, really annoying, and it's like 90% RNG after a certain point. Here I swap to Rake. I'm trying to... Yeah, here I just see the checkpoint, and this is at 12:30 Asinia. My fastest pace has been at 11:30 Asinia, so that just shows how much potential there is for this category. Yeah, so I just hold the left click and she dies. Nothing much to say here. What I'm thinking about right now is I'm looking at my XP bar and I'm like, okay, I have really low XP for level 6. So what's probably gonna happen is that I'm gonna do the Draven like area. I'm not gonna get enough XP to level up, and I'm gonna run out of mana flasks, and I'm just gonna have to disengage to the arena if I don't get like an amazing read. But sometimes with Draven you just get unlucky and there's nothing you can do. Here I spot the middle tile, so I'm like, okay, it should be in this direction. And I see the arena, like from the wall you can kind of see the edges of the arena, and here there's no way of going, so of course I just go to the side so I can loop around, and I just get completely fucked by the Forgotten Riches spawn. So it means that I have to go all the way back to the other side and just go from the far edge and just... yeah, and it's horrible. And there are like no monsters spawning here. I have no idea why there are like no mobs, and I just don't get any XP during this. And of course I have to like get fucked again by the layout. Yeah, I hate Draven so much. It's so bad. It's just a maze, right? It's full of dead ends, and yeah, here my foreshadowing did its job and I'm out of mana. But finally I'm in the arena like 30 seconds or even more later than I should have. That's always great, right? It happens though. Especially when you're on a good pace, you always get destroyed by RNG. yeah, the damage is great, of course. I can like tank one of the circles, maybe two. I just didn't want to get too greedy because I've actually died a couple times from being too greedy here. Yeah, but he's dead. The Draven fight usually takes like 20 seconds, so you can like calculate mentally how good your pace is. And here I can enter the Lachlan at 15 flat, and ideally I would have wanted to be like already done with Lachlan already, but yeah, I'm not. So this is a super easy fight. You just hold left click, and once he's stunned there's nothing he can do, he just dies because you have so much damage. Now here I recommend like not even checking for his loot, because like what are you gonna get? You're gonna spend an additional 5 seconds to get it, and like you can get a 10% chance of dropping something with some strength on it. So yeah, I'd rather just skip it and just go straight to the hunting grounds. You cannot skip Draven and Asinia's loot because you actually have to get the memory key that they drop. But if they didn't, like if I didn't have to do that, I would probably skip their loot as well, maybe. Yeah. Now I have no mana here for some reason. I have no idea how. I used all of my mana so quickly. So I just have to disengage, but finally I get a checkpoint. And I got pretty unlucky on this zone, I feel like. Like in that entire wall there was nothing there. So yes, a lot of wasted time, right? Now here I get the Daedric Ritual, and I'm gonna do it because it's very nice to have Brutality early on, because it makes the fight with Executioner, King of the Mists and all the stuff really fast. And you also save a couple seconds because you don't have to wait for the like, what's it called, for the Executioner to drop the loot. So the time that it takes you to do the Daedric Ritual, it's pretty much all made up by that. So here I found both Freighturn and Hunting Ground. What am I saying? And the Crowbell, my bad. And this exact layout, I remember, I got it like 2 runs before this. And I don't know, maybe there's a way of like consistently knowing which hunting grounds you're getting. So we are gonna have to do a lot more research on that, definitely, because it may not be that important for 100% runs, since we are basically just running a circle. We need everything, right? We need Freighturn, farmlands and Crowbell. But if we do any percent runs, we are only looking for the hunting ground center. So if we could find a way to like deterministically know where the hunting ground entrance is, then any percent would be like, I don't know, consistently 20% faster and less RNG heavy. So yeah, here I just resurrect a checkpoint and I TP to the what's it called, the farmlands. Now a 18-minute enter is great, because it means that if you have like really optimal farmlands, you could exit them at 19 minutes flat. However, this is also one of the most RNG heavy zones. If you get unlucky, you can get an extremely long one where you just run out of mana and it's not fun, and you waste like 40 seconds or something. So yeah, those are pretty much the free RNG like layouts of the Act 1 runs. So it's Freighturn, Cemetery and Farmlands, and the rest is very consistent. So yeah, here I noticed that there's a wall, so I'm like, fuck, this is not one of the fast layouts. So I have to go, and I hope that it's northwest. And it is, because I see this tile here, which is one of the ending tiles for this zone. So I don't even waste that much extra time for it not being an optimal layout per se. Yeah, a 19-20 enter here is great. There's definitely sub 30 potential. Like, the limit I think that you could get is getting a 20%, I just cannot speak today. I mean a 20-minute exit, like entering freight run, a 20-minute entering freight run. And if you get a really lucky freight run, then you could get a sub 30, especially if you phase skip the boss. However, I've got that 4 times, like a 20 flat, and I never got a sub 30 with that. So here I'm like bugging out because this is one of my fastest paces yet, and this could be the run. And yeah, I'm just gonna check up here to see if there's, because it looks really promising, right? It's a big area. And here I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna commit to that. I'm like hoping that there's no ritual in that little spot that I didn't explore. So yeah, here I've just found my second one. I'm probably gonna explore at the top of this because it looks promising. Like above this, there could be the boss arena. And yeah, there is nothing here, so I just resurrect a checkpoint. I just go back. Ideally, you want to kill the king in the mists at 23 minutes for like to have a chance of sub 30. Here I dropped a unique spear, which is fitting because this is a spear build, and I actually have no idea what unique spear that is, so I'm just gonna ID it in a bit. I find the boss arena, which is nice. I'm just looking for one more ritual, and it's here. Now I'm like pogging out because I didn't get lucky, but I got like kinda lucky in freight run, which is good. So I have a really good shot at having a sub 30. Now this was actually a really fast third ritual. Normally they last a lot longer. Now I'm probably just gonna read right now what the spear does exactly, and I don't see anything. I just see 17 to strength. So I'm like, okay, I don't know if this is one of those spears with like a crazy drawback that I just didn't have time to read. So yeah, I'm just gonna equip it and see how it feels. I'm putting my brutality in, and the damage you can see is just absurd. Like what the hell is this, right? So I'm like, okay, this spear is insane. It does have 15% reduced attack speed, which sucks because I cannot use this for like movement, or I'm just gonna be slower at clearing monsters. But for bosses this is absolutely huge, and as you will see, this will come in real handy in the future. Now here he just gets absolutely destroyed, and I grab the skull, I portal out, and yeah. Here I have to talk to Una, of course, for the loot. And yeah, I am looking at my spears that I have in my inventory right now, and I'm like thinking, okay, which spear could substitute the one that I'm using right now? So it's probably gonna be something with like attack speed, because here I'm like testing this out and I'm going so slow. This is so bad. And yeah, it's actually not that bad. Maybe you can't tell from the video, but I've been like hopping around with this rake thing for like the past week, right, in my practice runs, so I can like feel how slow it is. It just feels horrible to use, so I'm gonna remove it in the next area. Now I didn't even take off my brutality here for some reason, and I just allocated like 4 passives. Yeah, here I'm like checking out my spears. I'm looking at which one I should be using. So Executioner just get absolutely just bodied. Like, look at this damage, what even is this? And of course, because I did the Druidic Ritual, I can skip waiting for his guaranteed super gem. So I'm just getting the thing. And here I read 3 mana for enemy killed. I'm gonna go for the attack speed one, but I'm gonna change my mind in a second because mana is way more important than like 2% attack speed. So yeah, here I make up my mind and I'm gonna swap it in a bit. Oh, and I actually swap it with the wrong one. That's interesting. I wanted to like wear the +3 to mana per enemy killed one, but I actually just completely yeah, that's completely my fault, and I can't read, so it happens. That actually makes sense why I didn't feel like I was getting that much mana back when I was killing monsters. So yeah, here I just get stuck, so I roll over the mob. And this is a really great pace, 25 minutes. Like, you could get sub 30 with a 25-45 enter here, right? That's pretty much the limit, and I calculated it, so I know how much I should be stressing. That greater mana flask I'm not even bothering to get. I just have no time to swap my flask, right? And I don't really need to. So yeah, here I'm paying close attention to see if there's Candlemas that somehow spawned before the bridge, because it has actually happened to me, and I threw a sub 30 because of that, and it felt so frustrating. You have no idea. But he doesn't. He has like a normal spawn finally, and yeah, he's just here, and I have no more mana, so that was close. Also, for some reason he was bugged and he didn't start spawning, so I wasted like 5 seconds for no reason. It sucks when that happens. And look at the XP bar. Look at this. It's just such an insane amount of damage. Like, he doesn't even have time to attack me once and he's already dead. Yeah, so this build is OP. I am removing my brutality and I am keep going. Here, this is a fun fact. This specific tile, which has like a throne, not a throne, but like this kind of stairs, messes up this like the spawn of these areas so much. So this is why the stairs to level 2 spawn so high up, where normally they spawn much more down. However, from what I know, if that tile spawns like on floor 1, then it cannot spawn on floor 2 or floor 3, which basically means that your floor 2 and floor 3 layouts are gonna be way less cursed. Yeah, and I have no idea if that's true. I just noticed that when it happens on floor 1, I just get lucky on floor 2. Maybe it's just placebo. So here I am, perfect floor 2 read, like literally perfect, and floor 3 is just as smooth. I just hug the wall and I instantly find the arena. I don't have to like go around anything. These are not hard layouts to get, but sometimes they can really screw you up. Now here, I know that this fight usually takes 2 minutes if I don't phase skip. However, I have this spear that gives me a lot of damage, right? So I know that this is definitely sub 30 if I don't die, right? The thing is, what time is it gonna be? And I'm looking at my resistance. I have 10 cold resistance. I could die, you know, like that's a really, really big possibility. And yeah, so here he just, like, look at this. I just stunned him and he's already dead. So yes, I'm just waiting here, and I don't know, maybe there's a way of hitting this amount of damage consistently, or at least some more damage consistently with warrior or some class, but this is like the best I could do myself. Now here I'm just hoping he doesn't phase skip. I have to roll over because that Chilling Frost is gonna destroy me, and he was about to do the Solstice of Pain, but luckily I stun him in the middle of it, and here he does this attack, and here I know I won. Like, I've got an insane run because it's a really long attack and a really long animation. I don't know how he dies. I think he died from the bleed actually, which possibly actually saved my life because I was really low and he was about to do the smash. But yes, here I was so like happy and pogging out, and you cannot see it, but my mouse was shaking so hard here. So yes, finally I get my sub 30. I could have just posted a 30-minute run for you guys, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to settle for it. Yeah, I'm just spamming my skills now. Yeah, so I've got the warrior run, I've got the sub 30, and only monk is left for my 7th like character with this strategy. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribe, I guess, and have a nice rest of your day.